Hello, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel today, Weekly Coffee Online. I'm so happy to be back after the summer, after this long break with Ana Santiago. I'm so excited to talk with her because her story is really interesting. And I think she can help everyone with her story. Hello, Ana. So nice to have
Hello,
you here.
thank you for having me. I'm so
How are
excited
you?
to talk to you.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little nervous.
Why? No, don't be nervous. It's just a talk between friends, so don't be nervous. Everything is going to be good.
I know. I think if we do this at 7 o'clock, we have to change the name. Wine with.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, it depends the country you are in because if you're in the
That's true.
Netherlands, it's after dinner. If you're in Spain, you can have a coffee. So yes, it depends. But yeah, it's true. It will be nicer to be a wine time. So Anna, you are the owner of Cool Beers, Cool Beer. So tell us a little about your company, about your background, a little about yourself, because then people can know about you.
Okay, maybe I'll start with a little bit about myself
Yes.
because in preparing for this and in other times I've done little interviews, I realized so much more how important it is to know your story. You know, I'm a big Brene Brown fan, and she always starts with asking people, tell me your story. And I always find it interesting because it has so much to do with who we are in our business, in our leadership, and how we show up every day.
Hmm.
So
True.
I'll tell you a little bit about me. I've made some notes just in case I forget who I am. So I am an American living in Holland for the last 30 years. Um, I feel very much at home here. I have to say that, but I come from the States, and I was born to parents who came from Puerto Rico. And I always say that I think that the theme that surrounds me in my life is, um, I think, dreaming, you know, and it was sort of given to me, and I think all Americans have it, but especially from my father who went to America, and he wanted to have, he needed to be able to prove to my grandfather, my mother's father, that he could provide for my mother.
Hmm.
So it was in a time when America was very open to immigrants. And yeah, he was, I think, 17, 18 years old.
Wow.
And he went, yeah, it was really amazing because, my father had no education. He didn't speak English. He came from, in Puerto Rico, you have the rainforest, and his family came from deep in the rainforest. So it was just amazing that he had the idea to leave and go to America of, so scary, right?
Yes.
It's
Big
huge.
change.
Yeah, so, and not even speaking the language and had no money, but he had a dream. And so he did it. And, you know, our parents, we have various relationships, and my father and I were never close, but I have never forgot that he did that. That he took that huge step, and I always admired him for it. And I think that from I'm the fifth child in the family, and being the youngest, yeah, I was always different anyways, so, and I think that I understood that story about having a dream and pursuing it. And I think that that's been like a thread going through my life. And so I would say that using that as the basis, like having the audacity to have a huge dream, that kind of, yeah, helped me, inspired me, gave me the courage to have my own dreams. And so I think that being the fifth child of this family and kind of living the American dream was like the first part of, of preparing myself, which I didn't know, but it was a sort of preparation for where I was headed and the skills I might need. along the way to get there. And then the second big thing in my life, because anybody who knows me knows I am a huge Oprah Winfrey fan.
Yes.
I just, oh, I just love Oprah, and I grew up with Oprah. And being the fifth child, I was very much out because I had two brothers, two sisters. So I was younger, and I was on my own, and so Oprah saved me. And so Oprah Winfrey has been like a big part. I was like from day one. So anybody who's followed Oprah, we've gone through all the psychotherapy and healing ourselves, and it's amazing how she went from all of that and what she's doing now, inspiring us. Yeah, the way the speakers, the people she's introducing us to. Me, I feel like she does it especially for me.
That's good.
Do you like Oprah?
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah, I just, I'm a big girl fan of hers. But so
Great
Oprah was like a
motivator.
huge part of my life, and I kind of like, without her, I don't think I'd be the person that I am today, because she gave me all the tools I needed along the way. And then she started talking about finding your purpose. I think that when someone in the beginning, now she's talking about a little bit different, but there was a time where there was a lot of pressure about you have to find your purpose and make a job out of it. I mean, difficult, right?
Yes. Really
Right?
difficult.
Yeah, because you're like, oh my God, I don't know
It's
about
like
you,
I like
but
this and then this and this.
yeah,
It's
so many
difficult.
things. Yeah, so many things, but there's like this pressure, because everybody, it's like, oh, we have to find our purpose, and it has to be like spectacular on top of that,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, that's
Although I
true.
have to say, I think what you're doing with this channel is spectacular. I love it.
Oh,
I
thank
love
you.
you for doing it. I think it's brave and courageous, and I think you're being very vulnerable. And I think it's great when you just start something, because
I think it's good for people, and it's good for me also because I enjoy doing it. So it's
it's
perfect.
great to connect, especially now. I mean, even without the pandemic, but now because of the pandemic, to help people connect. And I sent you an app today because what I love is that you're giving a platform to people, other people, because I watch all of these podcasts, Brene Brown, Oprah Winfrey, Elizabeth Gilbert, if you follow Oprah, you know them all.
Yes.
And they're so big, and it's like, wow, you just like, wow, and you kind of forget what you're doing might inspire somebody else. But you think, oh, at least I think sometimes, oh, what I'm doing is not important, and I'm just trying to figure it out.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, but every story is important. Maybe you tell something today that someone say like, "Wow, I get it now." So you never know.
yeah, I think that's really great, and that's what I love about what you're doing. So,
Thank you.
chapeau, very good, thank you. So, so of course, growing up with Oprah and being such a huge fan, they talk about manifesting things, and so
Hmm.
I think that I manifested a situation where Oprah brought me this idea. So my entrepreneurial um, career started after one day watching something on Oprah Winfrey, and I saw this concept, Build a Bear, and it's a building your own teddy bear concept. And I was just like, it's the same thing when they say find your purpose, or also it's like they say when you fall in love, you know it. You know what I mean? When it's like
Yes,
real love. I think that's what happened to me. It was just like bam. I
that's for
saw this
me.
show. Yeah, right. I saw that show, and I don't know if you know Build a Bear. Have you ever seen
Yeah,
the
I know it
store?
from you. I know it from
Okay.
you because when I hear your story, I check it online.
It's so amazing, and I saw this story, and I think that I related to it because of the child inside of me that's always dreaming. And I think what I connected to with it was that in the process of making your own bear, the children build it themselves. There's this part where they put a heart in the bear.
Mhm.
And before they put the heart in the bear, they have to make a wish.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's so fantastic. And I've made so many bears with children, and I tell them, okay, now it's time to make a wish and bring your heart to life. You watch them put that little heart on their forehead, we tell them, and to close their eyes and make a dream or make a wish. And that was like something that was when I saw that on the Oprah show, and that was the part that just I connected to. So, so I was really excited. So, and I'm the kind of person, I'm kind of dangerous with a dream because I actually take action.
But that's good. That's good.
Well,
It's the difficult part.
it's the part where, the thing is that I had enough of Oprah telling me, find your purpose. And so when I saw that, I was just like, oh, I like this. And I wasn't really like looking to become a franchisee, but I contacted the Oprah show. They gave me the CEO's email. I wrote her an email, and she was just like, wow, you really get this. And especially the part about the dream and the
Yeah.
making a wish, and it's such a deep part of all of us, right?
Yes. But it's good that you
So,
can do it when you're a kid. It's easier because when you are a kid, you believe in things easier and you just do it. So
yeah.
it's great.
That is like I think that's the coolest part because when the kids make that wish, and the person filling the bear has to be really creative. And I was like a born natural, we call them a bear builder. That part came really easy to me, and I could really get into it. And yeah, what you say, you say like, oh, what are we going to do with this heart, and you're right. The kids, that's the most important thing to we have dreams and then we forget them.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, long story short, Maxine Clark, God bless her, made me the challenge to make a business plan and to pursue that, and I did. And it
Wow.
was it was my first challenge. And when she said write a business plan, and I thought okay, but I really wrote a business plan. I built a business plan um, just like you build a bear, and I made it in every step. Like every chapter was part of the bear, got bigger and bigger and bigger until he was ready. And so I really did my research, and I was just like totally on fire. I think when you really want something,
Yeah, you
it's the
just
preparation. Yeah, but it's the preparation,
true.
you know. It's like I really took like months to prepare this. And so I got the chance to do it. I needed, she informed me after that, to raise $5 million from
Wow.
investors. So that was like, okay, how serious are you? And so, but again, I could really like, somehow, because the base was there inside of me about a dream and pursuing it, it all came really natural too. It wasn't like I was thinking about what I was doing. So, I did what anybody else would do is I grabbed the quote 50 and I started contacting millionaires
Well,
and
but
selling them.
not everyone do it. Not everyone does it. They will say like, no, I cannot do it. Most people will say, no, I cannot do it.
Oh my gosh, I was like, I've sat down
That's
with so many.
amazing.
It was a lot of fun, and I had my little bear, and I would come to my meeting, and and they were so lovely, and they all told me, that they were very impressed with my passion,
Hmm.
and also um, my passion and my drive. They could
Yes.
feel. I think that if you're looking for investor money, just a side note. Um, I think that you can have a really good plan, but for somebody to believe in you, you have to bring across a passion
Hmm.
and a commitment
Yes.
because you're asking them for their money. And they really need to know, like will you, how far are you going to go for this? And my business plan proved to Maxine Clark that I was prepared to. I was like, I made a business plan. When I sent it, I was like the least likely to get that franchise because I had no money, not that kind of money. I had no experience in retail ever,
Wow.
but I was a marketeer, so I kind of
Okay.
got the concepts. And everybody said, "Oh, she's why her?" And Maxine said, "Because she really understands it, and I feel something about Anna that she'll go all the way. She'll do what she needs to do this."
And that's the
And so,
important part.
yeah, right.
You can know about retail, but if you don't have the strength, the push, then you are not going to do it. Yeah, the passion is really important.
And it's like this passion. It's like when you get this idea, um, and you're ready to, you get this creative idea that comes to you, and then it's sort of like it takes over you, because I think it
So,
came from outside and it possesses you, and so right. So I was really possessed. And so that was the first time. So Maxime saw that. So I had to get 5 million, and I did it, and I was, and every single millionaire that I looked through their profile and I thought maybe this is one person, I got in contact with all of them, and they were all amazingly nice to me.
that's really good.
Yeah, very nice. You don't expect it. And I'm talking about the top 50 from Holland. So um, I've spoken, I've been there, and I got in the door, and but they were like they just listened, and they all respected me and said, we admire your passion and your drive. And eventually I got my 5 million. And
Wow,
so
that's
I was able.
amazing.
Yeah, it was really amazing. When I look back, I can't believe I did those things.
But that's because
But
you trust in yourself and in your project. And when you know where you want to get, you just do it and then it works. But most
yeah,
people, we are like, oh, can I do it? I'm not worth it. I cannot do it. So we put obstacles. But you did it. You trust your project. You trust in yourself.
I think my business
So
plan
this,
really helped me. I had something, tangible that I could in my hands, and it was a good plan. And I really understood the concept, and especially because it was a customer driven. We're talking 20 years ago,
mhm. Yes.
or maybe more, 25 years ago. Um, and customer service, is already a challenge still in Holland, but back
Yes.
then it was crazy.
Yeah, I can
People,
imagine.
it was a Disney kind of store where I had in the weekends, I had performers, I had children playing flutes, and I had the children's circus, and
Wow.
I did the craziest things to get it, but it was fun.
Yes.
Um, but it was yeah, there was a requirement though to bring something, and I think that at that time, I had the plan, I had the enthusiasm, and I had the passion. So yeah, so I did that, and I learned a lot. And um, you have to let me know about time. Okay,
Yeah,
I took off.
don't worry about the time, Anna.
Okay, I took off my glasses, so I cannot see what time it is.
Don't
I
worry.
have some notes, but so I took that franchise, and I learned, and I learned also about I absorbed everything that Maxine Clark taught me. She's the most amazing retailer in the United States, the biggest, the
Mhm.
best. I just think she's amazing, and so I learned from her, and I understood where she was going with it. You know what I mean? It was more than just
Yes.
selling a teddy bear. It was this whole concept, not just dressing them, but it was the whole thing. And at the end of the day, it was this child who went home with this stuffed animal, not only bears, but and had made this heart and made a dream. And
Yeah.
there was something so personal about it. So I really got that. In those years, we did a lot for charity. And back then, that wasn't done in Holland, to be honest. Maxine even before Starbucks, even before with the personal, making it personal, we would write the child's name on the tag. So through the store, you would say, "Hey, Charlie, how are you?"
Yeah.
And so uh, it was very unique. And so I understood all of that. So when we were working with charities, people would in the beginning, people were like, "Why are you doing that?" Now it's normal. Now if you don't
Yeah.
support a charity, there's something wrong with you, right?
Yes.
But back then it was unusual. So I started out with 2 bears that I did for charity, and one for the Kika Foundation
Yeah.
for children's cancer research, and also one for the Johann Cruyff Foundation. Again, I got to meet Johann Cruyff, and I wanted to
Oh,
make a
that's
bear
nice.
for sports for children, and but I helped a lot of charities because every children's charity loves to have a bunch of bears delivered to them, right? Or we would bring them into the store and they could make them. So I was really connected to a lot of charities, and eventually I sold my franchise and I sold it to the Free Record Shop, and because I needed a new investor. My first investor kind of like fell through, and
Hmm.
so at the end, and so I got a new investor, and well, sometimes it doesn't work out. You
Yes.
know,
Hmm.
there was no fit, and I was too small of a party in that, and I understood, and I had the opportunity to sell my franchise, and I had something, um, my own small investment, and I thought, well, maybe someday I'll do something for myself, but I didn't know what.
Hmm.
And so now coming to where I am today with my company Cool Bear, which is healthy lemonades for children, that was born because all of those charities, when I left, they missed me and they missed the fun and the
Yes.
creativity. And so they started calling me and saying, "Hey, um, we're not doing the bears with them, but what do you have some ideas?" And you know how things are sometimes they come together. And at
True.
that moment, it came together for me, and I thought, well, in the States, the most simple way for a child to raise money is to have a lemonade stand.
Oh, yes. That's really typical.
If you've seen them, you see them like in
Yes.
movies, and you little table, and it's so easy, and the child can do it on their own. So I thought, wow. And I think for me, I was so connected to children, and I understood that was, and the charities, because that gave me the most fun and the most rewarding feeling about what I was doing. So that was, yeah, I, um, I had the idea, lemonade, had no idea where to start, right? It's just like I went from retail, which I knew nothing about, to lemonade.
But this is a sample that if you really like something, you can always learn.
It's not what Tony Robbins says. It's not a lack of resources. It's a lack of resourcefulness.
True. And it's true. You are the sample of that. That you
Yeah, exactly.
start a business from something that you didn't know about and then change to another one that you didn't know about. So if
Yeah,
you really
it was
want
a
to do
lot.
it, you can do it. You did it.
Well, you know what I think? I wanted. We were talking about this, and the thread for me is also the intention.
Hmm.
Because when I started the franchise for Build-A-Bear, I wasn't thinking about like making money. I know that's part of a business, but I was just thinking about the dream of it and the
Hmm.
stores and the children and the charities. And I just wanted to do something to, like Oprah always said, you find something and then you also use it to help other people.
Hmm.
So that was always in my mind, and not all the other stuff. So I think it's really important what your intention is.
Hmm.
Like
Yes,
you
true.
with this program, what was your intention when you started it? Because that's like your guiding light, your true north.
Well, it was to help people because some people were, because I do communication and marketing online, some people were changing their jobs to physical to digital. So they were asking me for help. And I started helping people, but there was a moment that I needed to work. I couldn't be on the phone helping people. So I started thinking, what can I do to help people in a way that I can continue working? So then I thought about making videos. I hate videos. Now I like to make videos, but in that time I hated to make videos. I didn't like it at all. But I thought it was a good idea to do it. So I started
Yeah.
contacting first people that related to business that I knew and I admire. And then after talking with friends, I started talking with people that I didn't know, but I know from what I read about them and what I see on TV that they were doing amazing things. So then I started contacting people like, yeah,
You
everyone
see?
wants to help.
Exactly. Isn't that amazing um, when you are brave and vulnerable, hmm? And then you approach someone, and they feel your authenticity. It's amazing. People, but you don't want to think about it too long. I think it's about just like, oh wow, they're really interesting and cool. And in my case, the first time I was just looking for $5 million,
Mhm.
but
Yeah, it's not an easy task.
but but I think it's this is the same thing, where you're doing the same thing, to have the courage to just do it. And so yeah, so out of all of these questions, I thought I thought, because I said to them, well, we can do lemonade stands, and they were like, yeah, but that's a good idea. Why don't you make lemonade? I was just like, oh wow. So I researched it and I started contacting people, and um, through one of my meetings, somebody said to me, they said, because I needed to be healthy, because
Mhm.
there were charities like Kika, for example, and
Yeah.
other charities for children with vulnerabilities. And everybody was saying, yeah, but the stuff on the shelf is really bad, and we don't want to promote somebody's sugar
Yes.
or all these artificial ingredients. So that was the thing that made me go research it. And it was one meeting where somebody said, hey, stevia, have you ever heard of stevia? They said it's a natural sweetener and it's going to be approved in the EU. So I'm still very proud to this day that I was the first one in Europe to make a syrup with pure stevia without using artificial sweeteners. And so that was really cool. And it was just, through picking up the phone, contacting people, and people being nice and saying, well, I know somebody, and I know somebody. So that was how it happened. So I got into the lemonade business, and yeah, and it's so much fun because you go from selling your first bottle and you're so excited. And
Yeah, I can
the thing was,
imagine.
yeah, it's so much fun for anybody who's out there.
But I
It's
think it's important that you also enjoy what you are doing. So when you
yeah,
enjoy, then it works better.
and you have to start somewhere.
Hmm.
When one of the millionaires that I found, who almost became my investor, but became one of my mentors, because I collected mentors along the way. So I was just like, okay, you're not going to give me the money, but and they were like, yeah, but we want to help you, because they were like, this sweet person, she's very motivated, she needs no experience, So I collected mentors as I
That's
went
great.
along the way. It was amazing. And one of them, he gave me an exercise when I first came up with this idea. He said, okay, I want you to think about um, how many bottles you're going to sell every day, how many bottles you're going to sell every week, every month, every quarter, and how you're going to scale that up. And I had to make a whole Excel sheet for him.
Wow.
Showing this whole process. And it really made me realize, I got to sell a lot of bottles of lemonade. And
Yes.
yeah, and I was just like, I was really focused on wanting to donate part of it to charity, because it was like That was the reason. That was my
Yeah, that's why
intention.
you start.
Exactly. And I think that it was like, it was easy in the beginning to keep my intention in front of me. And as you go along, you get bigger. And in my case, it kind of got out of control fast. And I was, every step I took, I had to up my game, my marketing game, and I had to up everything. And before you knew it, I was so busy with all of that, and I was still giving away a lot of lemonade. I was still working with a lot of charities. But I think that I wish, I'm still here, but I caught myself and I realize now, I think the pandemic made all of us stop.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so for me, I had to stop, and I realized that keeping that intention and finding a way for it to remain your guiding light, and so everything now, as I'm getting back into the game after the pandemic and things are opening up, and business has to get going again. I've done sales, but a lot of people I work with are parks and stuff like that, so it's been picking up. But I'm keeping this idea that what is my intention? And my intention was I want to create something good so that I have something left over, enough left over to help the charities, the children's charities that mean a lot to me. And so that was like that is like something that's very important for me. And so as I went along with Cool Bear, and I started to grow, and I started to get bigger and bigger. That's like the thing I learned the most. And when we were talking, and you asked me, "Hey, do you want to be on the show?" And I thought, "Oh, nice." I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, yeah, especially now that. So I went on the high, and then everybody went on the low. And now I'm like trying to figure out how am I going to do this, and it's all different.
Yes.
And so for me, it's about intention. So I think that if anybody, me sharing any of my experience, I think that the thing that hasn't changed, and what I realized while preparing to talk to you was, yeah, it was my intention, and it was the thing that gave me the energy, the motivation, and the passion. And I thought I need to get back to that, and I need to keep it focused, and I need to do it different, and I need to make sure that what I want to do doesn't get hijacked with everybody else's priorities. Like I know supermarkets expect you to sell so much per week, and you're really, it's like you're constantly performing to reach that, and you're trying to help other people and parks and stuff. But I need to keep focused what I want to do. So I think that was the most important. I think that for me is like really important for anybody, to make a good plan, and to hopefully have the passion, and to need it for the business. And if you're working with investors, they really need to feel, you need to reassure them and to show them that you're somebody that they can trust with their money, and to have the drive to keep going. And I think at the end of the day, it's still to come back to what do I want,
So to keep your focus there.
Yeah, to keep your focus, but also the focus, like the intention, like why did I get into this? Like write it on a piece of paper. Why did I get into it? And I have all these charities. So for me, it's just like I did it for that reason. I didn't do it for any other reason.
Yeah, it's important to keep it in mind. And what is the best advice that you get when you were starting and you were talking to many different people? Did you get any advice that you were like, wow, I never think about it. I need to do this.
Oh my God, the advice I got the most,
What?
which used to really, really irritate me. Sometimes
Really?
but very irritating because you don't want to hear it.
That's true.
But yeah, the best advice was about focusing, particular mentor that I did, and we're still friends to today. The focus, and I was like, I want you to do this, I want you to do this. He said, no, I want you to make that Excel sheet, I want you to focus. What are you going to need to sell in order to make a business? He said, once you've done that, then we can talk about helping other people. And I was, it was all about focusing and not trying to do too much, which I did. I didn't listen, and eventually learned. But focus, like the one, it's like one thing is already enough, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's true.
Like you're doing this now. It's fantastic. You're focused on the conversations and the people, and trying to pull out some good information that you can share. You don't need to be worried about other stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the most irritating information to me was just
But useful.
So useful because I started out with syrup, and I wanted to make ready to drinks. I wanted to make cookies and candy, and they kept saying, no, focus just on the candy. Because they said there's many levels, and in the end, it was true because some people start in the parks and then go to the retailers. I started in the retailers, and so yeah, it's a lot of levels. You get into one. Like Albert Heijn was the first big franchise, a big retailer, and then there was another one. But then there's like the wholesalers, and there's so many levels. And in the end, they were all right. It's what I do now. I'm just focusing on that, my core business, and not letting myself get seduced into other ideas.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Focus, focus, focus.
Yeah, that's good. That is important tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what do you think about having a strong network? Because you had a strong network before you start, or you just start from zero, just calling people?
Yeah, I had nothing. I just had myself and my ideas.
Wow.
And but I had, I think building a network. I think that we both we met through Ruffalo.
Yes.
And so, but I think it's so important. It's so true about like when I was building my network, I've always been the kind of person to give back anyways. But I was contacting people, and I was just, telling them my story. And it was amazing that people were like, oh, they were excited and they liked what I was doing. And so I started building it just, in some ways it was just nice to talk to someone about it. Because I was by myself in the beginning, and then I got students, and just kind of grew like that. But yeah, I think that
Yeah,
just
because
getting out there, meeting people, not being afraid, and so yeah, I kind of grew naturally. I have to say that I'm not the best person. Like I find it hard because when I contact somebody, I don't want to feel like I want something from you.
I understand what you mean.
Yeah. So that's been something challenging for me. I have to figure. I'm still figuring out, because I'm always looking for a way to cooperate together so that there's a win-win for both of us.
Yeah, I think that's the best. And actually, in the Netherlands, because I was living in the Netherlands until 1 month ago or 2 months ago, for me it was a challenge before to do the network there, because the way the people is doing it is like, yeah, I feel it's like, yeah, the people is like, it looks like you are looking for something, and it's
Yes,
it's, it's a challenge. It's not like
yes,
just have a friendly chat. It's like too aggressive for me. And now I'm used to it. But at the beginning, it was like, oof. Yeah,
it's
I
true.
understand.
It's true. I felt that too. And for me, it's just like now my the biggest lesson is not just know my intention, but to stay true to myself as a person. And you know, I and not to think about how should I think that when you that way of networking is like we should be connecting, but instead of like we should be, I I feel like it's more like, hey, who are you? And, you know, showing who you are and showing up and being vulnerable and letting somebody get to know you and you being interested and that is the best way to
I
build
agree. I agree. To be you as a person, not as a work, not
it.
related to work, just people to people. And then when you connect, then you can talk about business. I
Yeah,
completely
it comes
agree.
naturally. I think that when somebody, I think the biggest mistake is to, and I think so. You're Spanish,
Yes.
and so doing business. I've done a lot of business in Spain, and you know, a lot of people have to. They always say, oh, you know, first you have to talk, and you have to, you know, have
Hmm.
coffee and lunch, and you know, don't start right away about the business. But that is so true. It's like
Yes.
people are doing business with you,
Yeah.
you
True.
the person, and
Totally agree.
yeah, exactly. And all of those millionaires that I approached, I showed up showing them who I was. You know, and they knew why I was there, but they wanted to know who are you?
Yeah, that's really important. That's
Yeah,
really important.
yeah. We're getting to know each other every time better, and it's interesting to get to know each other. And and if along the way you can mean something to each other, great. But that's not the reason. It's
Exactly.
just nice because you meet somebody and say, well, they're lovely, and you know, I like what you're doing, and yeah. So just like us.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, for me at the beginning, I understand you perfectly because when I arrived to the Netherlands and I went to the first event, I was like this. All the time, like, what should I do now?
It's terrifying. It's like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, it's like you have to. That is the other thing. Like I have learned to trust who I am and all my weird and quirky ways. You know, but just to show up and not be like some manufactured image. You show
Mhm.
up, and you know, no, it's so scary, you know, because it's like
Yeah.
everybody's unsure of themselves in the end.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you can start there and just say, hey, you know, like I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to do this.
Yeah. What you don't know is, but it's the best because then
That's
you are honest. When you don't know and you say it to people, people help you. But when you fake that you know it, then people don't help you and they don't trust you. And it's worse.
and the worst thing is nobody likes a know-it-all. You know, it's just like,
True. True.
especially, yeah, and that's what I love about like Oprah. She's a teacher, but she's also a student.
Yes.
And you know, you know, learning is so amazing. And you know, whatever I've done, you know, you learn more about yourself
True.
and about other people. So I think that yeah, I think showing up and just being like, you know, what does Brene Brown say? Weird, stay awkward, weird, and vulnerable, or something like that. You know, and I think people like that a lot more. So it's like if
Yeah, I
you
think it's and it's easier because
it's
then you
yeah,
just need to be yourself.
yeah, and I think that's enough for all of us.
Yes, that's true. I completely agree. Because I
Perfect.
remember at the beginning in the Netherlands, they were telling me, you are too honest. And I was like, what does it mean? You can be
Yeah.
too honest? For me, it was really strange.
You know, I think that the world is getting better with people like Brene Brown, who's had a huge impact on vulnerability. But I
It's
think that,
important.
yeah, because I think that now people are writing books how to come across like you're being honest,
Yes.
right?
It's incredible because it's something basic. but
Yeah, exactly.
but we need to listen to it again.
You know, I think showing up is scary. You know, I was
Yeah, that's
terrified.
true.
Even today, I was just like, oh, who wants to hear anything I have to say?
But there is
But
always people that want to hear to everyone because maybe to you are really inspiring to me and to other people is like what is it talking about, but it's people for everyone. So for me you were
exactly,
interesting. So
yeah.
and if you have
You
to give,
know,
yes, sorry, tell me.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, I
I
was
also
going,
about you?
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you can give 3 tips or 3 takeaways to the audience, 3 things for them to take from what your learnings. What would you say?
I think we've set them and I'll sum them up because I think from what you also said about having joy in what you do, um, I think that paying attention as you go along the way. I pay a lot of attention to like Oprah, and I paid a lot of attention along the way. I think that that finding, eventually it will find you. If you're curious enough, somehow that thing will find you. And it doesn't have to be the thing that you make a living for. It could just be your hobby.
Hmm.
But to find something that really in your life that brings you joy and gives you um, something that makes you feel like you're, I don't want to sound corny, but not just alive, but like you're connected somehow to the world. So I think that's important. I think that if you can have that in your work or in your hobby, it's fantastic.
Yes.
And let me see. I think that, yeah, so for me, the preparation and the passion, because
Yes.
my business plan was like the book. When
Wow.
I prepared it for Maxine, for Build-A-Bear. And she said that she got business plans from huge companies in Holland, and I'm talking about all the big retailers. I won't name them, but
Hmm.
some of them
Yes.
are no longer here, and some of them are still there. But she said, we got like one page because they were so, they just thought that because they were big, that they were going to get
Yeah.
it. And so I prepared, and in that preparation, it also fueled my passion. Because the more I prepared that business plan, the more I really, thought, oh, I have to do this. So I think being prepared and being passionate together, and not being afraid. I mean, I everything I did was crazy.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't have to think. If you don't think, it goes better.
Not being afraid. I think that that's one of the most amazing and scary things about me is that when I'm passionate about something, I just, like I did, and if I had listened to anybody along the way,
Mm.
people were like, oh,
Yeah.
you're going to start a front, you don't know anything about retail. I had so many
Yeah.
people telling me, you have a good marketing job, are you crazy? And when I was going to start the lemonade, it was just like, oh, who do you think you are? Now you're going to make lemonade, right?
Yeah, but people always share what they are scared about. They share it with you, so it's better not to listen to them.
So
It's
if you're,
difficult, but it's it's better.
yeah, if you're prepared and you're passionate, I just think that you got to believe in it, and
Hmm.
you got to keep focused why you're doing it. And if you can keep that all those elements together, it's amazing how many people you can get to join in on your dream. Because I have a
True.
lot of people, it's amazing, and I, and people are looking. People love somebody who's passionate about something.
Yes, that's true.
So that's it.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Anna. It's really interesting. I hear your story one and again, and every time I learn something new.
Thank you.
So
It's
I
been
really
fun.
love
It's been scary,
it.
but I really enjoy talking to you, and I love what you're doing, and I wish you all the success with this. I know you're doing it because you want to help, and the success will come because that's the right order. Your
Thank
heart.
you, Anna.
Thank you, Emma.
Thank you very much.
We're going to go from coffee time to
Dinner time.
yeah. My case, I've had it. It's time for a glass
Oh,
of
it's
wine
true.
to settle down. So
Okay.
thank you so much.
Enjoy it, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
And talk
We'll be in
soon.
touch. Okay.
Okay.
Bye
Ciao.
bye.
Bye.